Oh man, so both Algorand and Coty are still forming really nice technical bullish patterns, and that is all despite the Bitcoin dump, right? Bitcoin has since recovered and all coins have been recovering since. You've got Algorand up 2.76% and you've got Coty up 4.63%. So I'm going to show you these patterns and you're going to want to stick around till the end because I share with you my new price targets for each of these coins and I'll show you exactly how I derive them. Okay, so let's take a look first at Algorand, and you can see for a while we were forming this massive continuation pattern in this triangle. Okay, so we had this massive run up, and you remember if you've been following my videos, we had this triangle pattern. Now we broke out of this pattern very nicely. Okay, so we got a good breakout, and then on the breakout you'll notice there was quite bad timing because Bitcoin decided to dump, which is where you can see this big red candle to the downside. Now what I said in my videos was this is not necessarily a bad case, right? You can see I've left my drawings in there because I said that's fine, we can go, the dump can then let us retest the purple line and then we can bounce off and head up higher. And we seem to be getting that so far. Okay, early indications show we've got a green daily candle here. You'd probably want a bit more volume, to be honest, and a stronger green day, but it is still showing some signs of recovery, and then it's moving tentatively because Bitcoin's moving tentatively as well. So our pattern is not yet invalidated. Until we don't break back into the triangle or below the triangle, this pattern still stays here, and my price target from this pattern is $2.76. But I'm going to share with you, after we look at Coty, I'm going to share with you my new price target on Algorand for slightly mid to longer term after we hit this $2.70 target, because that target is just based off this triangle, and this has a high probability of us hitting that target very soon, as long as Bitcoin can stay in the green. So that's what we're seeing here. Let's take a quick look at the hourly as well, and you can see what's happened here. Okay, so we had a good run up. This was the breakout. Okay, I know it's getting complicated to follow this, guys, but we're in this yellow channel. Look at the yellow channel, and we were trading within here. We broke nicely to the upside on the yellow channel. We were coming in for a retest of the yellow channel to then carry on back higher, but then Bitcoin decided to dumped, pushed us all the way to the bottom, and we were hanging for dear life here, right? And that's where we're now. We need to break above, back into the yellow channel and head higher, and we're not out of trouble yet until we break beyond these levels here. Okay, so until we get beyond $2.05, $2.06, those are the important levels for us to break on the short term on Algorand. On the daily chart, you saw we continue to remain bullish, and until we invalidate or head below the purple line back down to the bottom of the triangle, we remain bullish on this timeline. Now, what I also want to do is if we go to a fresh chart, I just want to show you with the EMA ribbon exactly how we're looking. So on the daily on Algorand, you can see we're just flipping bearish and bullish. Okay, no consistency here. When Bitcoin dumped, we now turned the EMA ribbon into resistance, and we're struggling to break through it now. So what we need is some strong volume to come in. We need some strong volume candles down here, and then that will need to help us break through and push straight to the upside and then maintain an upward trend. Okay, because you can see here when we flipped bullish here, we had a good extension. We need that again. We need a high volume and to push through along there. The good news is the volume has been good in this area, guys, but we just want to make sure that it's not volume to the downside. It's volume of buyers, not sellers. So we need to keep an eye on that. So let's take a quick look at Coty as well before we come on to our price predictions. Make sure you stay tuned for those price predictions because you're going to want to see how I've derived them. So Coty on the hourly, you can see the exact same thing, right? It's the exact same pattern. It was going well. We mentioned that on the video. We got above the EMA ribbon and we're heading to the upside, and Bitcoin decided to dump, and now the EMA ribbon is acting as resistance. You can see we tried to penetrate the EMA ribbon here. We're creating a bit of a continuation pattern, so if that's a bit of a bull pennant, that could suggest that we continue to the upside. When you get that, you get a little consolidation and then another push to the upside. So let's keep an eye on that. If we switch to the 4-hourly on Coty, it's much of the same story, right? And we've been in this trend for a while. Ever since we came down this downward channel, we've been fighting with our EMA ribbon and we've not had much consistency. And this is perfect sideways trading, right? This is what's happened. It's neither moved to the downside, it's not moved to the upside, and because the attention's not been there. If you look at the volume here on Coty and then look at the volume we're seeing here, I mean, it's not comparable, right? So when we need this volume to come in, and when it does, these price targets for Coty are going to be eclipsed. Please remember the cup and handle pattern on the daily chart is still not invalidated, right? You can see on the EMA ribbon, we've not, I mean, apart from the wick from the Bitcoin dump, we've not gone below our EMA ribbon. Even this green candle is now fighting for us to stay above this EMA ribbon. So until we get a close below, we're not bearish on the daily chart. And I'll let you know if and when we become bearish, which is going to be if we get a close below this EMA ribbon and if we fall below 43 cents. So at the moment, still looking good as long as we can get a bounce to the upside. Now, the other thing I want to remind you guys of is of this cup and handle pattern on COTI, the price target remains at 80 cents, but I'm going to show you right now my longer term target for COTI. So if we head over to a fresh chart and we look at the weekly chart, what you'll notice here, let's remove the EMA ribbon because we don't need it. And if you look at this EMA ribbon, if I apply the Fibonacci extensions from swing low to swing high, you can see this gives us a very nice price target of, there you go. They're right there, which is $1 on COTI, 99 cents. Let's call it $1 because it sounds easier. $1 on COTI. Now, you can see on this weekly chart, the resistance we've been facing where everybody's been super frustrated in this period here, it's just been that. It's just been sideways consolidation. When you've been on all of this run over many weeks, this is perfectly normal and should set us up for another couple of weeks of run up. The RSI has now cooled down. You can see that we've got a cooling down in the RSI, which gives us momentum to now run, right? We've got room to run. If you see here, the RSI really did peak nice and high, and maybe we can get that again, and that's what will push us to our first 80 cents target, maybe even then have a slight consolidation before heading to our longer term target of $1. So looking forward to that on COTI. Let me show you the same price target for Algorand, because on the weekly chart, again, swing low to swing high on a Fibonacci ratio suggests that we get the 1.61 level, which is the important level, sitting at $3.81. Okay, so $3.81 sitting here on Algorand is my longer term price prediction, and you can see the exact same pattern forming. A consolidation period here, a slight retracement down, picked up by the 0.5 and 0.618 levels, and now that can set us up to push higher. We need this kind of volume to come back in. Again, RSI is nice and cool. It's not as high as it was when we were pumping up here, and Algorand can really set up for a nice pump. Now, obviously, the technicals look good on both these projects. You've seen my analysis on the longer term timeframes in terms of the daily and weekly. I'm not bothered whatsoever. But naturally, with these coins, you always have risk to the downside on shorter timeframes. Both of these are trying to hold on to their bullish patterns. And if they break to the downside, I'll be the first to let you guys know if those patterns, the cup and handle patterns, have become invalidated. Okay, so I'll let you guys know on this channel. But as we know from a fundamental perspective, and therefore the daily and the weekly, both of these are fantastic coins with fantastic teams and fundamental potential. I mean, we know Algorand with Silvio Micali being a layer one solution, it solves the blockchain trilemma, and it addresses a lot of those core needs in terms of the layer one space, which is hotly contested right now. We know COTI with its partnership with ADA is just bound to move once ADA and the wider ecosystem gets moving. I can see ADA being a big catalyst for that. So if ADA can get their decentralized exchange up and running and launch some amazing dApps, then naturally COTI will continue to move to the upside as well. Both of these are working on great things and they're great projects. So if you like my blend between fundamental and technical analysis, then please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Remember to visit the free public Discord server. Click into there. You'll meet the community. You'll be able to ask questions from like-minded people. We share a lot of these patterns first on there before I'm able to push out a video. So go ahead in there for up-to-date information and speak to people. I'll be in there answering questions as well. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.